Last night, we saw possibly the most epic Stadium Series game ever. We got a goalie fight, a called off overtime goal, a 5-1 comeback win, and a goal within the first 10 seconds of the game. But in all that madness, one headline stood out among all the others, the one reported by every self respecting hockey media company. Goalie fighting is back. 2 goalie fights in 13 games after a drought of nearly 6 years without one, the last being the epic brawl of Cam Talbot versus Ryan Smith in the Battle of Alberta. With the tensions of that rivalry at their height, both teams were expected to face off in the playoffs for the first time in 31 years. All of this emotion boiled over and caused a moment in hockey history remembered to this day as one of the most unexpected moments of the 2022 NHL season. But why is it so rare to see something that fans clearly want to see more of? If it creates clicks, excitement, and popularity around and within the sport, isn't that everything good old Gary dreams about? Well, it's slightly more complicated than that, and it stems much further down in the history of the NHL that still has an effect on this game today, beyond just the physical aspects. Money, the root of all evil. Okay, let's not be dramatic, but cap management within a team can make or break their chances for a cup. Paying players good contracts that last long are crucial to cup runs and dynasty franchises. So in a time where there wasn't a limit on how long of a contract you can give to a player, we saw long-term contracts going as far as 15 years. One of the most notable was Ovechkin's 13-year, $124 million deal. But the longest contract in NHL history to date was given to Rick DiPietro, a goaltender with the Islanders. Now, what does that have to do with goalie fights? Well, you see, when you sign a goaltender to a 15-year deal, you kind of hope that they can be your goaltender for 15 years. So in the event that that player gets injured or doesn't live up to his potential, you become stuck with a 15-year inescapable handicap as a team. This is important because after a few seasons out of the league with a flurry of injuries, Pietro was back and healthy, until he was knocked in the face by Brent Johnston with a concussion and broken jaw.
Here we go. Oh, hit him with a lefty puck. No, you hit him. He's not going to hit him again. But he's going to hold him down and not let him up. Well, he hammered him good.
DiPietro would never make a true comeback to the league. The Islanders were forced to buy out his contract, and to this day, they've spent $1.5 million to a player that hasn't played since 2012-2013 season. But even when this fight occurred, goalie fights were still much more rare than back in the day. The main reason I would say we saw a lot more of this back in the day, I say with air quotes, is because the benches emptying for a full team brawl wasn't nearly as rare. In 1984, the Good Friday Massacre is a great example of how these types of games would spark goalie fights, and the fact it's also the only time a Canadian's goaltender has ever fought in a game. So without these giant, massive line brawls, it's rarer to see these goalies clash. They're on opposite sides of the ice. Truth is, goalie fights have always been rare, but the goaltender is arguably the most important part of any team. It's why players are always so protected of them during NHL games and playoff runs. So with the league trying to protect them, players and coaches really having them rather not do anything, it's no surprise that any team with a win-first mentality knows that goalie fights are a bad idea. And the best thing to do is throw your goon at them instead.